Joining me now is James Freeman, assistant editorial page editor, and James lives in New Jersey.
Yes, I do.
And so that means he pays attention to what's going on in New Jersey. And believe it or not, tax reform has been cited. And James, this is almost like a solar eclipse. And if we can posit that Christie is the sun, he certainly is, who is the moon in New Jersey?
Well, it's Steve Sweeney, the Democratic president of the state Senate, and I don't know if it's a solar eclipse exactly getting potential tax reform in New Jersey, but certainly New Jersey taxpayers have suffered for a long time. It's
I used to live there. Tell me about it.
You know all about it, and if, for people who do business there, it's actually dead last, number 50 out of 50 states in the state tax climate, according to the Tax Foundation. But what's encouraging is that the Christie plan, the governor's plan, is to cut income tax rates across the board. That's for everybody, including that 1% that the media loves to go after. He's saying, let's have some growth. Let's encourage everyone, including rich people, to move into the state and work here. And the news of this week is that Steve Sweeney has broken with other Democrats.
Who wanted to do the opposite.
Who wanted to create a new millionaire's tax. And he's saying, no tax increase, let's just have a different structure to a tax cut. So the good news for New Jersey residents is this is now a debate increasingly about how to cut taxes as opposed to how to raise them.
Well, the Senate President, Steve Sweeney, apparently is proposing a tax credit for people, right? Which is simply a deduction. But he is talking about a tax cut, and when he was pressed on the millionaire's tax and the tax increases, he resisted.
That's right.
He basically said, I don't know if I want to go there.
And I think you have to be increasingly optimistic if you are a New Jersey resident that the Christie plan in some fashion is going to get through. Governor Christie sounded pretty optimistic when he visited us a while ago to talk about it, but he's now basically in a situation where they've got these dueling tax cut plans. Christie's is 10% rate cut across the board. The Democratic plan now, the Sweeney plan, you know, better than a rate hike, but it's very complicated. It's a credit, and it's sort of take line 7 and subtract it from line 11, and then calculate this number. Yeah. It's sort of a classic big government type of scheme.
Well, James, Steve Sweeney, the Senate president, is an interesting guy. I mean, politicians often get accused of not living in the real world. But it turns out that Sweeney does have one foot in the real world.
Yeah, that's right. He's, yeah, he might say only in Jersey, but he's not only a politician, but also the head of a union. Now, interestingly, the union is a private union. It's not one of these public employee unions we hear so much about. He's an iron worker, and that's where he grew up in the business, basically, doing hard labor, building buildings. And unlike the public sector unions, they feel it immediately when the economy goes down. They don't have guaranteed health benefits played by someone else. He told us when he was in last year it was 40% among the members of his union. So they are very focused on economic growth, and that's why one thing he agrees with Christie on is you need to do something to boost growth in New Jersey. Still 9% unemployment.
James, when Governor Christie was in recently, he told us about this tax cut. I think I can get this. Talking about New Jersey. Why would he say that? Does he think maybe Sweeney can help him get this through the legislature in New Jersey?
Well, I think that must be the case, and you know, it's a question of expectations. You know, looking at Christie, even if he gets his deal through, you're still talking about a top rate going from 8.9 to 8%, still very high, higher than most states. But it's increasingly competitive with New York and Connecticut, and I think to answer your question, you now have Democratic votes in the legislature that are at least up for grabs, open to the idea that, you know, we probably do need to do something to keep people from moving to Pennsylvania or just leaving the state to go to Florida.
James, we got a little bit over 30 seconds or so left. I want to give our viewers a little bit of a political bonus. We have two big primaries coming up Tuesday in Alabama and Mississippi. And you've been looking into the money race between Rick Santorum and Mitt Romney, and your results are kind of surprising.
It's tightening. The huge Romney advantage is not there anymore. February fundraising, $11.5 million for Romney, but $9 million for Santorum. So
$2 million between them.
Basically, yeah. And Santorum, if recent history is a guide, is running a leaner operation, so he may get more bang out of those bucks.
All right. Thanks so much, James.
Thanks.